Some wars are not fought for land, but for memory. When empires rewrite reality, even truth becomes a weapon. The heart of a rebellion beats not in weapons, but in those who dare to remember what was stolen.
The last sunset over Zalara Prime shimmered with violet storms as Imperial warships passed in formation across the sky. Elira Corrin watched from a broken balcony, her breath catching in her throat as the sun dipped behind the horizon and the Thay. Shadows of war consumed the land. This was not the world she was born to defend. It had become a graveyard of ideals in the heart of the capital's underground resistance zone. Elira entered the war room. A hologram flickered above the center table, revealing a ship unlike any she'd seen before, an obsidian craft with wings like daggers, seemingly absorbing the light around it. The Black Ship, said Var Thalin, the Resistance's chief strategist. It destroyed 3 moons in the Perseid Fringe. Entire populations gone. No warning, no survivors. Is it the Empire's? Elira asked. Var shook his head. Not exactly. But they command it now. Or they think they do. The room fell silent. Behind them, Valen Drex, a former Imperial scientist turned rebel defector, approached. His voice was steady, but his eyes told a different story of fear wrapped in knowledge. I helped build the interface, he said. But that thing, it thinks, it dreams, and it hates. The Ravenhold, an old rebel ship retrofitted for stealth, hurtled through subspace. Their destination, the fractured world of Celis V, once an Imperial research colony, now quarantined. That's where Valen believed the Black Ship had first awakened inside the dim control room. Elira stood over a star map, tracing the vessel's path of destruction. Each star it passed dimmed, each system choked under silence. There's a pattern, she said. It's targeting relic sites, ruins, knowledge. Valen nodded. It's consuming what remembers. The Empire used it to erase their enemies, but now it's erasing history. As they arrived at Celis V, the team disembarked into a wasteland of scorched earth and frozen towers. The atmosphere still buzzed with electromagnetic residue innately. Ruins, they found something worse than Death A. Memory chamber, a psychic archive, was still partially active. Elira touched it and recoiled, her mind thrown into a vision. She saw the Black Ship, rising from the ocean of a shattered world, not built but summoned. And around it, robed figures chanting in a language older than the Empire itself. It wasn't made here, she whispered. It was called. Suddenly, gunfire erupted. Imperial purgers had tracked them. A firefight broke out. Elira and her team fought their way back to the Ravenhold, but one of their crew was lost. The cost of knowledge was growing as the ship ascended. Valen whispered, "There's more than war in that thing. There's memory, and it's rewriting us all." The Ravenhold docked in the asteroid city of Nuvai Station, a pirate-run outpost built in the bones of an old mining colony. The Resistance had allies here, though none were trustworthy. Information had a price, and Elira came prepared to pay. She met with Marek Vance, a former admiral turned mercenary lord. Scarred, half-cybernetic, Marek was the only known commander to have faced the Black Ship and lived. "I lost everything," he said, showing her the hollowed eye where a data port now pulsed. "But I saw its heart. You're not fighting a ship. You're fighting a will." He shared a name, Vault of Silence. "A hidden Imperial facility," Marek growled. "It's where they bound the ship's mind. You destroy that, maybe you break the link." As Elira prepared for departure, Valen received an encoded transmission. His former colleague, still within the Empire, wanted to defect. But he had one condition. They meet him at the vault. "It's a trap," Var warned. "Then we spring it." Elira said the slipstream corridor collapsed behind the Ravenhold as it emerged near the Imperial dead zone. A stretch of uncharted space wrapped in dense ion fog and broken starfields. According to Velen, this region was once a thriving cluster before the Empire drained it. Now, only static and shadows remained. Alira Corin stood in the command chamber, staring at the jagged outlines of derelict ships drifting like corpses. They weren't all Imperial. Some bore the markings of rebel alliances long forgotten, others of species she'd never encountered. It was as if the Empire had dumped its shame here. This place shouldn't exist, Var whispered, scanning the data coming in. No star maps listed, no satellite pings returned from it. It's invisible. Velen moved beside him, his fingers tightening around the rail. That's because the Empire wiped it from existence. The vault is here beneath the debris field, buried deep. And guarded? Alira asked. Velen nodded. Always. It's not about keeping people out. It's about keeping something in. The Ravenhold descended through the maze of wreckage. As it passed through the fog, a massive structure appeared beneath them. The Vault of Silence was a monolithic station built into the husk of a shattered moon, its black spires glowing with red pulses in rhythmic sequence. Power signatures detected, said Var. Minimal surface defense. Either they don't expect US or they want us inside. Alira made her decision. Prep an infiltration team. Velen, you're with me. Inside the vault, silence reigned. The halls were wide, smooth, and glowing faintly red. The deeper they moved, the stranger the architecture became. Walls twisted in near organic curves, humming with distant voices. The atmosphere was thin, but Bradoblev led them with confidence. But Alira noticed the tension in his movements. This place remembers pain, he said. It was built using psionic energy. The walls hear us. They reached the core chamber, an immense hall surrounded by glass pillars, each filled with swirling lights and suspended forms. Alira approached one slowly, then froze inside the pillar. A human brain floated, alive, wired, thinking, what is this? She asked. The source, Velen replied bitterly. Minds harvested across the galaxy. Scientists, tacticians, artists, even children. All converted into a living computation. Array, they power the black ship's sentience. Alira's fists clenched. They're still conscious, every second. Suddenly, a piercing alarm blared. They know we're here, Var said. Inbound heat signatures. 2 dropships. Download whatever we can, Alira ordered. We blow this place on the way out. Velen worked quickly, bypassing ancient Imperial encryptions. There's a failsafe. If we disconnect the central node, the chamber shook. Explosions echoed above. Gunfire. Do it. Alira shouted. Velen pulled the release. The central pillar cracked open, releasing a blinding pulse. The lights flickered. All the glass columns shattered. The mines were free. A thunderous sound tore through the walls, a roar not made by lungs. It was psychic, ancient, and vengeful. The black ship is screaming, Velen said quietly. They ran back aboard the Ravenhold. The vault imploded in a collapsing gravity storm. The shockwave tore through nearby wreckage, sending debris into orbit. We've done it, Var said, slumped in his seat. Whatever controlled it is gone. Alira didn't answer. She stood at the viewport, watching the remains scatter. Velen approached her. You understand what this means? We weakened it, but we didn't destroy it. Velen nodded. Now it's wounded, and a wounded beast is always the most dangerous. Alira looked at the stars beyond. Then we end this. The Ravenhold cut through the void toward the heart of Imperial space. Their journey had no maps, only whispers. Velen's memory, half-decoded coordinates from the vault, and the black ship's last psychic scream echoing through his neural scars. They were headed for Aetherian Prime, a long-lost Imperial cradle, world rumored to orbit a black star. Legend said the Empire's greatest secrets were buried beneath its surface, and somewhere within it pulsed the origin of the Black Ship. Its final Coria Lyra stood at the helm, silent. Her mind raced with what lay ahead. Her crew had shrunk. Dozens lost during the raid. What remained was a hardened fragment of the Resistance. "Signal ahead," Var said from his console. "It's the Black Ship. It's waiting." Valen entered. The command deck, pale but focused. It knows this is the end. It wants to finish what it started. The screen lit up with the image of the Black Ship now changed. Its hull shimmered with veins of crimson and violet. It hovered like a god over the ruins of Aetherian Prime. Planetary storms circled beneath it. "Bring us in," Alira ordered. "But we're not attacking yet. We land." The Ravenhold descended into Aetherian's atmosphere, buffeted by magnetic storms. They landed on a cracked obsidian plain, littered with ancient war machines and fossilized bones. The landing party. Disembarked Alira, Valen, and Var. Along with a few silent soldiers, they found the citadel at the planet's equator, a temple fortress built of starsteel and blackstone, towering into the sky. Inside, holographic memories flickered echoes of the Empire's rise. The moment the Black Ship was first awakened. "It wasn't built," Valen murmured. "It was summoned." "What?" Alira turned. "This ship. It's not technology. It's a consciousness. Something from outside the known dimensions. The Empire didn't invent it. They bound it. And now it's free," Var added grimly. They reached the heart of the citadel, a spire chamber lined with mirrors and light. Floating above a cracked altar was the core. It pulsed slowly, like a dying heart. The presence of the Black Ship filled the room. "You seek to destroy me." A voice spoke not through air, but through thought. It was deep, layered with 1,000 forgotten voices. "But I am already part of you." Valen collapsed to his knees. Blood trickled from his Isolira, drew her plasma blade. "You bound millions in agony. You fed on fear. You broke entire worlds." "I mirrored what your kind already built," the Black Ship answered. "Empires, slavery, silence." Valen struggled to his feet, his hand trembling as he lifted the viral drive taken from the vault. "Then let this be your mirror." He hurled it into the Coria. Pulse burst outward. The citadel cracked. The planet quaked above. The Black Ship howled. Its surface peeled open, light pouring from its depths. A scream raw and eternal rippled across the stars in orbit. The Ravenhold recorded the energy spike as the Black Ship fragmented, its pieces dissolving into radiant dust. The sky turned gold later. Aboard the Ravenhold, Alira sat beside Valen, who was barely breathing. "You freed them," she said softly. "The mines, the galaxy." His eyes opened weakly. "And now maybe it can start healing." He smiled faintly before his breathing slowed. And Stoppa Alira placed her hand on his and stood. She turned to the viewport, where the remains of the Black Ship glittered like falling stars. The war was over, but the galaxy was only beginning to remember what peace could mean.